5 Stoic lessons that will change your life. Hello to everyone! I really hope you've had a wonderful week so far. Let's skip the small talk for a moment and get down to the issue of the day, which is guaranteed to brighten up your day even more. 5. The visualizations of the negative. Negative visualizations helps you prepare for the worst case scenario even if it never comes to pass. Consider the loss of a close friend, a parent, a job, or a possessions you have grown fond of. When you do that, you'll be better prepared for whatever comes your way. When I was a kid, I used to go to my grandparents' house whenever I could. Their bodies would begin to show the signs of aging as they got older, and I was prepared for this eventuality. Even back then, I was already thinking about dying. I know that one day, I'd have to give them up. Knowing that death was inevitable, I would imagine how it would occur. I pictured myself standing by their coffin at their final resting place, and eventually, they succumbed to their ailment. Despite my best efforts, the pain I had experienced was not lessened in any way, but it gave me a head start on the inevitable day that was inevitable. I made it easier for me to cope. Peace can be achieved by contemplating the world's transience. Having unrealistic expectations can make it more difficult to deal with the inevitable disappointments that arise when we lose something we hold dear. 4. Get into the habit of wishing for the things in your life that you already have. Most of us have a hard time dealing with this. I know this is a concept with which I have a lot of difficulty. Having this one thing in my life will make me feel complete. Once a goal is met or an item is purchased, you'll notice that your desire for new things increases as you become accustomed to the previous one, bigger, better. Those fleeting feelings of newness and euphoria fade over time. This is the root of most people's dissatisfaction. Even though we have many desires, the things we want rarely makes us happy. Moreover, these desires shift so frequently. I believe the Stoics are correct in saying that in order to be happy, one must learn to desire the things he already has. What's the secret to that? Take the time to imagine that your possessions have been taken away from you. Only after it's gone do you realize how much of an impact it had on your life. 3. Let go of uncontrollables. Internalizing your goals help. Focus on what you can do, not the response. What do you control? Rational response, I'm in control. Stoics wanted us to understand that if we dwell too much on things we can control, like what happens to us, we'll feel anxiety, fear, or anger. It's a daily practice to tame yourself and accept that the outside factors shouldn't bother you. Are your advances ignored? You are slandered? A personal insult? All the responses you partially controlled. Some things are beyond your control. You can only do your best under the circumstances. You succeeded. You tried to get to know that girl better, so you approach her. You took action. Her positive or negative response is external. Happiness comes from within. Putting your happiness in others will affect how you feel. Society will affect your self-esteem if you seek acceptance. 2. Practice self-denial consciously. Every now and then, it is essential to deliberately experience discomfort. The reason for this is that when you get used to something, you start taking it for granted. It will be more difficult to get through bad times once you have been dealt a bad hand. Warm showers are the norm for most of us. Delicious fare, comfortable bed, videos on the internet such as those found on YouTube for more. These are all too commonplace to be considered unusual. However, by limiting one's intake of a chocolate bar on a regular basis, relaxing in the tub with a cool water temperature, floor to ceiling, we strengthen ourselves so that, if the going gets tough, we won't crumble. Because minor discomforts occur on a regular basis, the prospect of major discomforts occurring in the future will not, at this time, be a source of anxiety for this person. Wilhelm B. Irvin, Deprivations of Self, teaches us to be content with what we have rather than allowing ourselves to be swayed by every temptation that comes our way. Self-discipline and the ability to control your impulses are essential for a fulfilling life. 1. Bad habit can spread like virus. They are all around us. Vices are ingrained in the human psyche. Often it is said that you are the sum of your closest friends and family members. You have to be careful who you spend your time with. Despite what you may think, we tend to adapt to our surroundings. You'll end up doing the same things as the people closest to you if you follow their lead. Their mannerism, vocabulary, and body language will infiltrate your daily routine without your consent. The spread of vices is often unnoticed because of their contagious nature. Avoid those who complain. Is it a source of joy for you to hear someone else grumble? No, there isn't. It immediately causes you to become depressed and turn your thoughts to the negative. Things that are out of your control will make it more difficult for you to find tranquility or peace of mind if you allow them to.